We got a lot of stuff to talk about in today's video. Make sure to watch until the end of the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications on. First things first, we are 1 year from when Roaring Kitty went live last, June 7th, 2024, and GameStop is trading around the same exact price, right around $29.50, which you can see in his live stream right here. GameStop closed the week $29.58. And before we get into the video and all the good stuff, I do want to state thank you guys so much for 33,000 subscribers. We finally hit it. We leveled up 1K from 32, which was a grind from 32 to 33, but I appreciate all the support that you guys show on these videos. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your weekend. For 33,000 subscribers, this is today only. At midnight tonight, I'm going to be changing it, but Discord is going to be a lot cheaper for those who want to get grandfathered in today. $14.99 instead of $19.99, and once you get in at that price, you are in for good, grandfathered in. So if you've been debating on it, make sure to join my server. It's the top link in the description of the video. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about GameStop. Let's talk about how possibly the market opens. Now, I posted a post the other day on X, basically stating, listen, what is the significance of the 741 number? Why did I post that? Well, if you haven't seen, basically, Roaring Kitty's hinted at it, Ryan Cohen's hinted at it, Greg's hinted at it, Buck the Bunny has hinted at it, 741. Roaring Kitty also posted a clip from The Matrix. Now, specifically in the clip, it said, follow the white rabbit. And then, sorry, I just mashed my mic. Hopefully it's still fine. In the clip, follow the white rabbit first appears on Neo's computer screen at approximately 7:37 into the film. The full message, wake up Neo, the Matrix has you, follow the white rabbit, knock knock, Neo, is displayed at 741 just before a knock is heard at the door. So we see the 741 time and time again, but this is one of the most interesting things that I've seen, and it's an older one, but basically it could just not be that complicated. If you go to GameStop's S3, Chapter 7, Paragraph 4, under Dividends and Other Distributions, Line 1, you find out that we could possibly be getting a dividend on their earnings come June 10th, which also lines up with the 610 episode Game of Thrones, with the Green Wildfire, which we talked about yesterday, and a bunch of other things. So ultimately, what am I saying? Well, we have this week ahead where it's a very, very high likelihood that the knock on the door is going to be answered. Possibly Roaring Kitty coming back, possibly anniversary, possibly him opening this present. So this is where we stand. This is what we're looking at. Now, as far as if we do get a dividend, it's possible. If we do get an NFT dividend, which it also shows, there's also a little bit of backing because we used to be in that sector in GameStop. We have a lot of hints at the blockchain as well, other dimensions, right? All of these things lining up, and then you had Buck the Bunny when you lower the saturation or whatever, you see him holding what looks to be possibly an NFT, all this other stuff. Most brokers won't support NFTs, so would that technically ruin a dividend squeeze if we got an NFT dividend? Not necessarily, or if we got some sort of dividend, right? It doesn't actually ruin the plan because it forces brokers to admit that they don't have real shares and then forces buying pressure, but it also lowers the liquidity if we get some sort of dividend. It's very similar to the Volkswagen squeeze, where Volkswagen basically skyrocketed. Now, this also ties into the same thing if we were to see some sort of dividend. Porsche's 74.1% Volkswagen ownership during the 2008 short squeeze created a near impossible short squeeze scenario, which is very interesting. And then ERC 741 combines NFT ERC 721 and token ERC20 standards, hinting at tokenized ownership or digital dividends. And then 741 days appear in Roaring Kitty and Ryan Cohen's timeline, marking key strategic or cryptic events, representing an ownership trap card, tight control, verified holders, and setup shorts can't unwind. There's also a bunch of other meanings to this, possibly spiritual awakening, intuition, stability, new beginnings. You go down the list. Carl Icahn's video glitched at 147, and then also you have like the same thing reversed with the debt, which we've talked about before, and then you basically go down the line, and there are a lot of things that can all exist at the same time. It's not like one of them has to exist. They can all exist at the same time. And then the little bit of a cherry on top, GameStop specifically bought and released that their first Bitcoin holdings was 4,710 Bitcoins. I mean, this is what we have for our little our tinfoil hats, right? But we also saw GameStop themselves, and I posted this yesterday, post a video, what's in the box, right? They're obviously seeing what's going on. Then they posted a game trailer, but they titled it "What's in the Box." And then we had RC, right, which we've seen some tin around this guy, this video game character coming up, what's in the box, and then he gets surprised, all this other stuff. We could possibly see this Monday, and the reason being is, well, there's a couple, but Roaring Kitty's birthday is on the 8th, which is tomorrow, I believe, which also lines up with the Buck the Bunny picture, right? The missing picture, all that other stuff. Jumping into the charts very quickly, we see GameStop traded in this parallel channel between these yellow lines, and now we have broken down into a bearish pattern below the signal, retested it, and came lower. Now, what I originally said is if you break beneath this, retest it, and fail, it's bad for GameStop. We're in that scenario where it's bad. But then you also have this sort of flag pattern that's playing out on GameStop, which could break either way. Here's what I'll state. I highly expect we gap higher, just based off of all of the catalysts that we have, as well as the GameStop earnings. If it's a huge letdown, we don't see Roaring Kitty come back and earnings crash back down, investors in GameStop are going to lose a lot of hope. They're going to be pissed. I mean, I'm going to lose a lot of money, and then somehow I'm going to get blamed for it, right? I can't call for anything. I can't tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm just a guy on YouTube. It's in my opinion, I would lose money with you at the same time. So ultimately, GameStop is rejecting this trend line. I highly expect a gap higher. This is also, they're running out of time before OPEX to deliver real shares from the shares that they borrowed and failed to deliver in XRT as well as GMEU. They're running out of time in the squeeze window. Now would be the time to get out. Momentum would be too strong. Here's what I'll state. This 34.45 level, write this down, 34.45. Before I give you the reason being for that, GameStop also broke below the parallel channel back in December of 2020 before we ended up squeezing. So it's not something that completely disregards a pattern. In fact, this happens with AMC as well, where it kind of shakes people out and then it retrades in the pattern that it's trading in and then squeezes higher. So just because we broke below, and this is still the 4-hour, doesn't mean we're not going to break back in. So I just want to put that out there right now. This level, 34.45, is going to be a crucial level. Reason being is if we come up to it and we reject, that means we're going to have a little bit longer, possibly into next week or the week after. Not even the week after, because we're running out of time before OPEX right around June 20th, which I do believe we're going to see the move before then. I think these next 2 weeks are the highest likelihood that we see GameStop squeeze as well as AMC. If we get stopped at 34.45, this is going to be the spot that is possibly going to shake people out. And we have to watch this very closely, because if we break above 34.45, you're likely going to fly higher. This is also, there's also some tin when Roaring Kitty took the beer out in his live stream. Very similar price action, $35. If you get above this, things happen. I believe you enter the what's called the what's in the box region, which we can see we retested this up here. Let me grab the no charts. You can see we tested it up here, right? 35.50, 35.45 twice, and we got slammed in, and then we tested it right here, slammed back down. Ultimately, when we broke past that previously, GameStop skyrocketed very quickly, and that's the same thing that's likely to happen based on the gamma ramp that we have set up. 34.45, you're going to want to watch that. Also, we're at the bottom of this channel. I think there's a higher likelihood that we're at the bottom of this wedge. There's a higher likelihood that we get a bounce here. If we get a big green candle, that takes us right up to 34.50. That would bring a lot of FOMO back into the stock, and it would mean GameStop on Monday would be up about 16-17%. and we're going to watch that level going forward. A break straight out of this wedge, we'll say Wednesday, June 11th, you'd have to basically be above, close above 37 for anything to be significant. But what I do think is if you break this level of where GameStop likes to get rejected, then you're going to fly, right? It's time to fly. So we're going to watch this level. They obviously have huge sell blocks above 37 to try and keep this down. But this is what I anticipate. This is what I expect. Again, we are in the 2 weeks of the highest likelihood for a squeeze, in my opinion. AMC, if GameStop comes up to 34.50 on Monday, AMC is likely to come up to $3.95 to $4. That's going to be the same gain. That would also be right at the top of the wedge with GameStop. Tesla, we have broken down, and I assume we are going to continue to break down. Will we test 310 or 313 before then? Maybe. I don't care. If we come up to 310 or 313, I'll likely jump in a short on Tesla. I'm just going to put that out there. I think Tesla is coming lower. Secondly, DJT. I think DJT is going to pop higher. Reason being is because of my cycles. We are entering a pop phase, which we also almost timed correctly back here in April. Okay, I think this week and next week alongside GameStop, DJT is likely going to get a pop. How high? Well, probably 2250, maybe 2370, or maybe shorts scramble and we go higher. But keep an eye on this one. SPY, I stand by. I expect us to open red, gap down on Monday. Alongside GameStop, AMC, green, all that other stuff. But ultimately, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are we going to get the present open? Are we going to get some things that are happening for earnings? Or are we going to get a nothing burger week with a lot of despair following, right? Go watch the Green Wildfire video. Thank you guys so much for 33,000 subscribers. And again, the top link in the description gets you grandfathered in at a cheaper price. You're saving $5 a month for life if you get in today, and that changes at midnight. I'm not going to extend the deal. If you want 60 free stocks, 60, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, use the second link, open a Moomoo account, make a deposit into there. Do not sleep on it, guys. That is the second or third link in the description. Use code LOTTO at checkout when you want that funded futures account so you can trade up and take payouts, all that other good stuff, get my indicator and more. Check the links, guys. Go enjoy them. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.